This is a curious fact for curious humans, but perhaps this time is more not necessarily a fact, but something that I learned and I took when I visited Marcel Dice, which is one of the champions of Complantation in Alsace, and a reference also in Europe. So a few things that I learned, apart from the fact that you do have complexity in your glass, for sure, is that biodiversity, increasing biodiversity in the vineyard by planting different grape varieties together it's not a human invention, and it's not something that actually has been created by biodynamic methods or anything. It's actually the model of the forest. So biodiversity was created by nature. In the forest, all different plants need to work together and share resources to survive. So biodiversity is the model of the forest, and Complantation represents that. That was one of my takes. The second one was that something beautiful is happening. The first question is, what happens when you have different grape varieties in the same plot? How do they ripen? They're different. They will definitely arrive to maturity differently. It's a nightmare from the vigneron, but it's not. Because when you work with low yields, they have discovered that there is more synchronicity. So you tend to arrive to almost all the grape varieties. They tend to arrive to the peak of maturity at the same time. And even if they don't exactly, you do have certain element of more acid wines with more high acidity or more mature fruit, etc. And that combination is what gives complexity. So there is synchronicity when the different plants, different grapes share resources. That was very interesting as well. The third thing that I took out of this debate was that when you're working with monocepage, it's like cooking with one ingredient. This was an analogy and a metaphor that I found, or a music with one single note. So there is complexity to be found when you can blend or mix different notes in music and different grape varieties, in this case for wines. And the final thing is that we are thinking about solutions for climate change. And lots of the discussions is actually certain grape varieties will not grow properly anymore. And we will need to pull them out and replace them with grapes that are adapted to warmer conditions. This was happening in Bordeaux, that the Touriga Nacional perhaps is allowed now, or will be allowed now in Bordeaux, a Portuguese grape variety. But what happens with Complantation? Because Complantation can be a solution for climate change, because you do have different levels of maturity in your field. So you do have the grapes that can provide perhaps the acidity that might be lacking, and the grapes that will have more maturity because of the extra intensity of the heat. So Complantation could potentially be one solution also for adapting to a warmer environment. I found this very interesting concept, and there is plenty more information for the people that have studied more, which are the guys of Marcel Dice in the website. So go and check it out if this concept tingles your wine curiosity. Thank you.